Hey Tiger Nation, head out to the Massillon Museum this Tuesday, September 24th, at the Brown Bag Lecture Series, where Scott and Becca will be talking about Massillon against the world and do a book signing. We're going to be giving a speech while you eat your lunch. Ooh, I'm hungry already. Welcome to Tiger Talk. I am one of your hosts, Scott Ryan.
And I'm your co-host, Becca Moore.
How are you doing today, Becca?
Doing fabulous.
Good, glad to hear it. If you get thirsty, do you drink out of a Tiger Talk cup?
I don't have one with me, but sometimes we drink out of a cup that says Massillon against the world.
Uh-huh.
I can't see it.
Got to put it. His is disappearing.
Yeah.
How are you doing today, Coach?
Doing well, Scott. Thanks.
Glad that you joined us. I'm excited about this. We just came from a big win, 41-7 over Canisius. Who are our guests today, Becca?
Today, well, I'll have them introduce yourselves, tell what number you are and what position. And we can't ask favorite color anymore because we don't know what people will say.
It's too dangerous. It's too dangerous.
Your favorite thing about the season so far?
My name is Nolan Davenport at the left tackle, number 61. My favorite part about the season so far, obviously, I think taking the trip out to Nike is pretty cool.
My name's Chris Barrett. I'm number 52. I play right guard, and I'd probably have to go with that. Just traveling with the team. It was a fun experience.
You did travel to Glen Oak as well, right?
Yeah, a little different.
Traveling is traveling. It's funny the sun just came out and blinded me. So what did we think of the game? Let's start with the players. We won 41-7. The exciting part was we scored every which way you could. What memory do each of you have from this game? What was like the big play for you personally? Let's start with you, Chris.
Big play. I remember one play I got the pull, and I remember flattening someone, and that was a fun experience. But it was a good game, good team win. Everybody scored, offense, defense, and special teams. But big week ahead of us, and got to move on to the next week.
Did they call that a pancake when you flatten somebody?
I don't know if that one was technically a pancake, but
it was more of a waffle, I think.
Probably, yeah. I guess you could go.
Maybe a biscuit.
What about you, Nolan?
Nothing really stood out to me, but I think it was just super cool to see the special teams, the defense score a lot, especially the special teams really coming together. I think that was really cool to see.
Definitely. Coach, how often have you coached a game where offense, defense, and special teams have all scored? It's kind of rare, right?
Yeah, I think it's kind of rare for all three to happen. A lot of good things have to happen in a row for that to take place, but we'll take it. We don't really care who scores the points as long as we're scoring.
And the other thing I wanted to point out is Mateo Herrera had 41 kicks in a row. I saw that. And we never really talk about kicking extra points. Tell me something about Mateo.
So Mateo's he's a sophomore, and started several games for us as a freshman, which is maybe not that unique as a kicker, but he had never really kicked before. He'd always just been a soccer player, so it was all really, really new to him. And then to be in that position last year showed a lot of character with him, and he's really taken the next step this year, and very accurate kicker. And as he gets bigger and stronger, I'm sure he's going to develop a lot more leg strength. He's going to be really good.
He's tiny. He's not very tall, right?
Not the biggest guy.
Yeah, but he's fun to watch because one time he ran after the ball, I think, or something like when you guys snapped, was that at Nike? And you were like, don't do that again. Because he tried to run the ball and he's like,
You got a face mask on.
yeah, he was like,
That's
he's like,
funny.
he's like, I thought I was fast in soccer, but I don't think I'm football fast. It was so cute.
Does he only kick extra points, or is he kicking other things for us?
He's a field goal kicker also.
Okay.
But the kickoff duties are handled by Nolan Hendricks.
All righty. Well, I just wanted to point that out because he had kicked 41 in a row, and I figured we're in a week that everyone's getting some love. We should start there.
Let's see.
Yeah, definitely. So we have a big game this week. We have St. Ed's. This is the game. It's the game everyone's looking forward to every year. The last 2 years, I did not come home for it, and we won. And so I said, I'm coming home. So I'm going to be there, and I want to see us beat. I've never seen with my eyes us beat St. Ed's. I've actually never been at a win. Nolan, what do we have to do this week to bring home a W? Score more points besides that.
We really just got to execute and all do our jobs all across the board. And I think a big goal for like we saw on the O-line this week is not to have any missed assignments, especially like in pass pro and all the blitzes, because they always send a lot of blitzes and pressures.
What about you, Chris? What do you have to do to make sure that we come away with a win?
Yeah, missed assignments is a big thing because their D line and linebackers are all pretty solid, and as an offensive line, we gotta have a great week of practice. No, we can't have any missed assignments in the game, and we just gotta play as a team. Everybody's got to be working as one.
So give me an example of a missed assignment.
So it would be like if we're running, say, Oregon Hot. If I miss my guy or block the wrong guy, that would be a missed assignment, and that would make the running back's job harder.
What about you, Nolan? What would be a missed assignment for you?
Same thing, just blocking the wrong person or whiffing on your person and getting your running back or quarterback killed.
So, Coach, what do you have to do? What do you do in practice to make sure that if missed assignments are the thing we're trying to avoid, and I know you guys love to put them in pressure situations, how do you practice not making a mistake? I mean, anyone can make a mistake. Someone could forget to hit record or something. Like it could happen to anyone.
Yeah, well, the reality is mistakes are going to happen. We know that. But we want to try to limit as many of those as possible. And so we want to make sure that the kids understand the schematics of what we're trying to do. And then they also have to understand how it applies for these guys, both offensive linemen, how it applies to the defensive front in general. And then how it applies to all the different movements and blitzes that they can do out of the different fronts, right? So there's a lot. Like there's no way to cover every play against every front with every pressure or blitz. It's impossible. So you try to dial in on the really tough ones, especially in the inside run, which is our most live part of practice, right? So we want to show them our runs versus the toughest looks that they're going to get. So inside run should be hard, both physically and mentally. It's going to stress them mentally too, making the right calls, making the right adjustments, pointing the correct linebackers. Those are really the things that we need to do in order to limit missed assignments. So it's just all about mental preparation and then reps on the field.
The interesting thing about this game is it's pretty much been the team that makes the mistake loses. I mean, last year we sort of really dominated, but the 2 years before that, it was the team making the fumbles, the mistakes. Maybe that's always true, but do you foresee that as being the outcome for this one, the team that makes the least mistakes?
I mean, possibly. I think the in games like this, it comes down to the best team. And the best team is not always the most talented team, right? The best team, the team that plays the hardest, that keeps their cool, plays disciplined football, plays for each other. The team that has the most of that type of dynamic, I think, typically wins in these types of games, especially as you get to where the talent levels are equaled out.
Mm.
I think this is going to be interesting too because I mean, since we've been here, we've only played St. Ed's here, right?
Correct.
We've never played up there. Do you remember Scott? I mean, because obviously you've been a fan longer than us. Have you remembered Massillon ever playing up at St. Ed's?
No, that's what I said. I don't remember. I remember playing them at the Rubber Bowl, which doesn't even exist anymore, but not at their field. This will be my first time going to their field, which I'm really excited about because, as I've said many times on this show, I love away games. I love going to a stadium that we've never played in. Let's go to the players on this topic. Do you guys think it makes a difference where you play people? Like, are you thinking, oh, I wish it was home because, what will the difference be for being away? Nolan, you're shaking your head, so I'll have you go first.
It's so much different. I mean, Massillon fans at home. I mean, we have fans travel everywhere. I mean, we had a bunch of people in Oregon. It's really surprising, but when it's at home, it's just different. It's special. There's no words to describe it. It's one of a kind.
What about you, Chris?
I would definitely say playing in our stadium would be harder for other teams. Like if I walked into Paul Brown, I probably would be intimidated too. But that can't change the way we play though. We gotta play the same game we always play every week, no matter where we're at. But like Nolan said, Massillon fans travel everywhere. So
yeah, I'm freaking flying from Florida to come to the game. So I mean,
it's true. You can confirm that is true.
It's so interesting to me because I just don't see it. I mean, just because there's gonna be fans or it's your stadium that you'd knock that kid back an extra yard, that's so interesting to me. It's one of the things that I find most fascinating. It's why I like to go to away games because I like to see how we play and how we react. What do you think about it, Becca and Nate? I'm curious about both of you. What do you guys think of away games?
I like the away games. I like the feeling of being on an invasion of some kind. So I enjoy that. I like playing at home for other reasons.
Sure.
But I really like going on the road and playing a game in a as hostile of an environment as we can get.
What about you, Becca?
I do like traveling too. I like to see the kids like dressed up, in their shirts and ties or in their suits, their travel suits. I think that you get to see the kids like focus in. It's really interesting to watch them get on the bus, the different personalities. Big Mike always dragging and coming in since he was a freshman last to leave. But I do like the away because our fans do travel. It's crazy how well they travel. To me, it's still kind of, even after 10 years, it amazes me. Like Nolan said, all the fans that came to Oregon was crazy to me. So, but I love that. So I do love traveling and driving back downtown, even if we stop or don't stop and the people come out and wave to the buses. So I do. There is something special about traveling and getting the W and coming back through downtown and just being proud of
You guys don't go downtown like after the Glen Oak game, do you?
No.
Okay, because I was like,
You asked about traveling. I mean,
no, I understand, and I've been downtown for like McKinley games or playoff games, but I have never once considered like a regular season away game to go downtown.
We've come through downtown before, just a regular game, and people come out.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. Yeah, I've not heard of it. It doesn't mean it didn't happen. So people tune in here to get the hardcore answers, and I've got a complex, deep question. Going to start with the players, and I've been thinking about this week. So be ready because this is a heavy hitter. What is the best uniform for the Massillon Tigers? What's the color scheme that you personally like best? Chris?
I honestly love all of our uniforms.
Good. We need an answer.
I don't know. The orange Jordan ones are always sweet, like a little color rush. But the all blacks we wore in the state championship last year, I like those. And I even like when we mismatched colors, like when we did last week. So I really can't answer that.
Cody would have answered.
I'm sorry.
Nolan, what about you?
I think it has to either be between the all black we wore in the state championship or what we wore last week with the white. And then I just like having Massillon across the chest, which the other black ones don't. So that's
Last
my
week's
favorite.
All right, Becca, what about you?
Last week was definitely my favorite. I'm with Nolan. I like the Massillon across the chest. I like the classic black too, but I don't know. The white is so it's nice. Yeah, I like the white. Something about
White
it.
pants, or you're saying white top, white bottom?
I like it all white. Yeah.
So that's the way. That's we have to do that away.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about you, Coach? I know you pick them, so you're always going through them, but like your favorite.
All white on the road and Tom Benson.
It's funny because when I was thinking of this question, I was going to say to some degree, I associate the all white with going to McKinley. And
Now, I will say that the ones we wore, I agree with these guys. The ones we wore last week did not start off as my favorite, but I would probably pick that combination now. I really like the white helmet, white pants, black Massillon jersey with the white trim. I just think it looks really, really sharp. I like it a lot.
So unfortunately, all wrong answers because it's the all orange. That's my favorite. I love that because you did, Chris, in the beginning mention, and you hit it for me. I love the full color, and I feel like it's so brash. It's so Massillon to say, look at us, we're all orange. So that's my favorite, but I will agree that the all black is good and the all white is good. So I basically became Chris. Okay, so as we know, we now move on to our game, which right now the players are ahead. We're 2-1. So hopefully Becca has come up with something really complex to knock these players off. I'll explain the rules again. Becca's going to give you 2 facts. One of them is about Coach Moore, and the other one is about co-host Moore. And you have to say, was it coach or co-host? So, Becca, what are our facts this week?
Okay. So the 2 facts this week is one of us is a published author in Sports Illustrated Kids, and the other is a district champion with their sports team.
So the players have to decide which one is a published author in Sports Illustrated Kids.
Be district champion like in high school?
Yeah.
And a district champion in high school. While they do that, this is where we play punt or no punt, where we track our sister team down south, Cincinnati Anderson, who is now ranked number 2 in the state. Oh, we aren't ranked number 2, but old Cincinnati Anderson is. They won 41-7, sounds familiar, over Lebanon. The question is, did they punt or no punt? They punted.
What?
No.
They punted. One punt. It was 42 yards.
Oh.
I mean, good for them. I could find no information.
You know where they were at on the field?
I couldn't find that. I looked everywhere. I even watched a news clip which they covered the. I know. I don't know, but the one kid he punted, it was 42 yards, which I think is impressive. I can't believe they punted. I'm so disappointed. Have some faith in your plan. Don't give it up in week 4. So they've punted once of 4 weeks. Okay, that's where we are on our punt or no punt. Now let's see what the players have come up with.
So, a district champ as a coach or as a player?
in high school.
For the
It's a
player.
player.
As a player. uh,
Have you guys decided? They're whispering. I wish I could cover how how many times Moeller punted. I don't know. I'm only interested in Cincinnati Anderson. Oh, back and forth. Cohost. Maybe the coach. I don't know. I kind of like the all orange. Maybe he was right.
It's 50-50. I mean,
all right.
All right. They have an answer.
We don't know if they're trying to trick us or not, but we're gonna say that Becca was the district champ and Coach Moore is the author.
that's true.
Oh, they are moving ahead
This is
3-1.
So this is funny. So Nate wrote to Sports Illustrated Kids that cheerleading was not a sport, and I'm a district champ in cheerleading and cross country, but it is kind of funny. Yeah, and it was probably why cheerleading is not a sport.
I like it.
He was 12.
Hey, you got published. That's all that matters. So there we go. It's 3-1. Becca, you better stump him next week or we're gonna be in a hole.
Yeah, I thought that one was pretty good. They're pretty good.
Yeah. You've had good ones the whole time. So
Yeah,
they're just outsmarting us.
I know.
All right.
Well, until next week then. TIG.
DRS.